Dear participants in the online course, this presentation is about maternal and child nutrition. It's a special topic also incorporated in our field guide, and it addresses the special position of young mothers and small children. There's a double motivation for this particular presentation, this particular topic. And the first one is that nutrition and health go together. And good health is dependent on good nutrition. Whereas good food can only be incorporated well, can only digested well by people with good health. And the second one is that mothers and young children in particular have specific dietary needs because of their position in the life cycle. You should try to realize that pregnant and lactating women in fact feed two bodies, their own as well as that of the young child, which is developing. And after pregnancy and after delivery, a young mother really needs to recover physically from the pregnancy and from delivering. That's a very intensive period in their lives. And then looking at small children, their development is highly influenced by the quality of the nutrition they receive in their first 2 years after birth. And another way to put it is that malnutrition really affects many young children, which leads then to poor physical development, stunting, and diseases. In the farmer field school meetings, in the meetings with the community members, and in particular with the members, the participants in the FFS, it's important to discuss with them the community practices, the practices which are prevalent in the communities in relation to child and maternal nutrition. Which includes their beliefs, their customs, their food preferences in terms of what they do eat and what they do not eat. And it's important to discuss how these practices might influence the child's development and also the position of the young mother, both in a positive and in a negative way. In that context, it's important to involve participants with good nurturing practices, which are recognized in the community, for those practices, and to compare what is prevalent in the community with the very good examples. Questions that could be asked is, what differences occur between those with good nurturing practices and the average? What does it mean in daily practice? Why are these differences occurring? Why have they been introduced by the exemplary mothers? And also which recommendations flow from this comparison, which might be given to all the members in the community. In addition, it might be very useful to involve local health or nutrition experts coming from a health clinic or working for the Ministry of Health to provide additional examples of good nurturing practices, not only for the very young children and for pregnant women and women who have just delivered, but also for children older than 2 years and, for instance, for elderly and sick people. And it might be useful to have the experts comment on how nutrition can be improved with examples of nutritious local food items for all members in the communities, all these different categories. For proper development of the young child during pregnancy, but also later on after delivery, after birth, and for a good recovery of pregnant women, it's important to look at the food composition, and in particular to the amounts of proteins, vitamin A, vitamin C, and iron, which are consumed by the pregnant women and by young children. And in that context, it's important to look at food items that provide such sources. Liver, meat, fish, and legumes for protein and iron, vitamin C present in fruits and in dark green and leafy vegetables, and vitamin A also provided by dark green leafy vegetables as well as fruits. And this may add to an improved nutritional status of these categories, but also of the community in general. Another issue to be mentioned in this context is that breast milk is very important. It's the best and most nutritional natural food for babies. During the first 6 months of life, it provides all the baby needs. After 6 months, it's important also that the breast milk is complemented by other types of food, and to slowly get the baby used to these other types of foods. And the combination of breast milk and the slow change to other types of foods really helps the cognitive development of the baby and provides major protection from diseases because of the composition of the breast milk. Whereas breastfeeding can be continued up until 2 years of age of the youngborn, it's also important to increase the amount and the consistency and the variety of other food items, which will contribute to the child's growth. In that context, it's also important to increase the number of meals containing complementary foods, and to check that these food items that are provided to the young child have high nutritional content. As usual, in the Farmer Field School, do discuss with the participants whether it was useful to have this topic in the agenda of the Farmer Field School, and whether clear conclusions could be drawn from the discussions amongst the participants. And finally, do realize that nutrition and health are closely interrelated, and mothers and small children need extra care, are in a special position. Thank you.